Today, we're diving into the slopes of Deer Valley with the one and only Ski Dad TV. What's your background in skiing?
I grew up ski racing in Vermont, and then basically raced my whole life through college. And then I got a job in the ski industry. I worked for Technica and Blizzard for a number of years.
What sets Deer Valley apart from other ski resorts, especially for skiers looking to hone their carving technique?
Deer Valley really is a level above all the other resorts I've skied. And I've skied like 130 resorts in my life. And Deer Valley has better groomers. They put more effort into the grooming. But I think what really sets it apart is that when they built Deer Valley, they carved the trails on the mountain in a way that they flow really well. And they graded them all so that they set up really well for good skiing. They're flattened in the right spots. They get the pitches in the right spots. There's not a lot of like janky terrain features. It's all really smooth and flowy. On top of that, the trails, because the trails lay out so well, but the lift service is really excellent. The trails are set up to be fun. They're set to be skied top to bottom the way I love them.
How do you tailor your carving lessons to suit the groomed steep runs that Deer Valley is famous for? Do you have a favorite trail for teaching carving?
Lost Boulder Run over on the Flagstaff Mountain is this perfect mellow pitch. I think it's like a 15-degree pitch, and it's long and flat, and it's perfect for like your early stages of carving where you want to just roll the ski up, feel the bend of the ski, and not get going too fast. As for steeper terrain, Big Stick on the front side has a really great, it's a bowling alley on a pitch, perfectly straight, perfectly flat run on a fairly steep pitch. But because it's so consistent, you can really focus on just one variable, which is the carving, and not worrying about rollovers or turns in the trail.
Do you mind taking a look at the trail map with me and suggesting where beginner, intermediate, and advanced skiers would have the most fun?
Deer Valley lays out really well in that the snow park area has our like learning zone. And it's the best place to start out if you're a never ever. And then also out of the snow park area is our success trail. And so right away, you're skiing a green run that's super achievable, but that's also long. You really get the feeling of being out in the mountain and skiing. Now, a tip for everybody in that is that lower pitch of success can be a little bit challenging. So there's the rosebud cutoff above that brings you back. And so you cut off what would be the most difficult pitch on success. And then from there, you can move up the mountain over to Flagstaff. And then our next really great green run is Ontario. Ontario is at least a mile long, if not longer, and it takes you through this really cool valley. It's beautiful. The pitches are just fantastic. It's wide. 3 runs on Ontario is a lot of skiing for a beginner. Once you're comfortable on Ontario, you head right back up to that same peak, the top of Flagstaff, and all of those blues coming off of Flagstaff are mellow blues. And they all just ski really great. So you hang there and you progress and you get more comfortable in the blues. I mean, everything there's beautiful. The lodges are beautiful. All of the condos that are around are beautiful.
Is there any other place you'd recommend as a progression, maybe to the next level up to advanced?
Once you get into advanced, you head up to Bald Mountain. And Bald Mountain really has right to the left there. That really has like kind of my favorite runs at Deer Valley. Those are really long, flowy, rolly groomers. And the lift service, like this is a spot where there's 3 chairlifts bringing you back up to the lift. So no matter which way you go off the mountain, you get a great run, you're right back to the top, and you've got every choice ahead of you.
What is Empire Canyon like for the expert skier?
Yeah, you get the daily chutes there that are certainly like extreme terrain, right? You get over there, you got a cornice you got to drop into, you have legitimate chutes, and then even the middle chutes are like full on extreme, chute 4 through 7. And in the middle there, the Empire, right where it says Empire Canyon Lodge and the X-File trees, those are some really dynamite open trees to ski through. You got to do a little bit of a hike to get there, but it's definitely worth it.
What advice would you give someone planning their first trip to Deer Valley to maximize their experience? Are there dining spots or insider information that may help visitors?
And I actually like the Empire Lodge food the best. They serve a salmon sometimes that's just like fantastic. And one thing I like to do with my family is like a special treat is if you get to the St. Regis, and I think it's 10:30, if you get there before 10:30, you can still get order off the breakfast menu. And so like
Hmm.
once a year we take the kids there and we order fancy French toast on the mountain, and they love it.
There's a little wine bar by there too. Is that something anybody can go to that's in some kind of yurt or tent?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely 21 plus, but it's like the bougie Apres scene. Downtown Park City's great. You know, after a day of skiing, you can catch a shuttle to downtown, or you can drive there, and the whole Park City Main Street. You got the No Name Bar, the No Name Saloon's fantastic.
What ski would you like recommend for a beginner? What ski maybe for somebody that's carving? And maybe what ski for powder?
I think the one ski recommendation doesn't really make sense because everybody's so different. So it's really like a waist width thing. So like beginner skiers should be on something that's like 75 to 80 millimeters underfoot. And then for carving, I'm a little bit on the wider side here because I'm in the West, but I really think the best carving ski is like 85 millimeters underfoot. You know, one of my favorite skis all time, the Blizzard Brahma, was 88 millimeters underfoot, and that's a phenomenal carving ski. You don't need a race ski to carve. And some of my best turns ever have been on a 98 underfoot Bonafide. And so you can carve a ski that's pretty wide. I mean, I even carve my 104 twin tips. As for carving, it's kind of more snow dependent. If you got soft snow, you can go wider with your carving ski. If you got really firm, icy snow, you want to go narrower. As for a powder ski, anything over 100 millimeters is going to be phenomenal. But my 88 underfoot Brahmas, I've had phenomenal powder days out there. You know, any ski that's got a little bit of early rise in the tip will get that shovel to float, and you can make it happen. In general, a wide ski for powder, somewhere between 85, 95 for carving, and then beginners should be on something a little narrower. As for booking me for a lesson, I am available for private lessons. You could email me at dunn83@gmail.com. That's DUNN83. You know, it's not just carving. I teach everything. I do kids, I do beginners, all the way through. I'm happy to teach it all and really just enjoy the sport of skiing. Thank you, Cody. Thanks for having me on.